Killing Wave, such a bizarre card. I mean, have you played against Killing Wave? I've only played against it in Limited.
Same actually. And you know, it's a scary card.
It really is scary, particularly when you think about the way that Standard looks right now, where the vast majority of decks are effectively heavily creature-oriented.
Also very tempo-based, too.
Now, Melissa DeTora on the right. Melissa, considered one of the top female players in the game of all time, and has had a fair amount of success on the Pro Tour and Grand Prix circuit. We've got a Llanowar Elf from Melissa, Dark Slick Shores, and the Diregraph.
So both players starting out with their one drop of choice here.
Now, one of the things that me and Paolo Vitordama de Rosa agree on, lands in front.
Oh, no way.
That's what it says in the rule book. If you read the old rule book.
It also says we should play for ante, though.
In small letters in the back of the book, it says, "We are sorry if you ever die, you're an ornithopter." Okay, Ponder.
So Missy had no play for turn 2, maybe sitting on something like a Dismember or a Galvanic Blast. We'll see what she does here.
Or an Avenger.
Oh yeah, Wolfear Avenger actually more likely. 4 of the full 4 of those in her deck.
Cavern. Naming apparently zombies.
Yep, looks like it. Gravecrawler comes
Wolf
down.
for the victory. Oh, from the trees. From the trees. Picture a zombie walking through a forest. Suddenly.
a wild wolf appears.
Oh.
So, Melissa gets to untap with her Avenger and access to 3 mana, it looks like. I'm not sure she has a 4th right now. Looks like she's a little short on mana. Yep, sure.
In they come. Gravecrawler cannot block.
Nope. Aaron Tarvis going to drop to 16 life.
And another War on All Elves. And a bird.
Now, here's the kind of situation where Killing Wave for something like 3 would be super powerful.
Well, for 3, unfortunately,
well,
only 2 mana here. Oh, 3 mana. I believe we're going to hear vampires for the second one.
Yeah, I have to imagine. And 3 mana, Drolf's Messenger. One of the most powerful cards in the
Oh, that was zombies
deck.
then. Double zombies.
Okay. You know, a lot of the cards in the zombie deck match up really poorly against Wolfear Avenger.
Wolfear Avenger is a real monster in fair fights.
Yeah, he is.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hellrider, perhaps?
Oh, boy.
Hellrider. Uh-oh. That is a lot of damage.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage.
So Aaron Tarvis, turn 4, 6 life.
And there are 5 creatures on the table.
Welcome to Standard. This is a tempo format. Forget Think Twices and Forbidden Alchemies. This is Hellrider Wolfear Avenger season.
In the control decks these days, whenever I see Think Twice, I just shake my head. I just don't know that that is at all correct, even if you're a control deck.
Right, it's such a low impact card compared to these super, super powerful starts that are possible.
I mean, if you were playing Control Mirrors all day, I would love your Think Twice. I used to play it, but not right now. We're going to see a Phantasmal Image making maybe a Hellrider?
I think so.
Oh, look at this. Just the Gravecrawler
Probably,
in for 2.
It's probably a good move by Aaron Tarvis, not attacking with that
You know,
messenger.
unless Aaron has some really good cards, that's it. An attack does it. I guess there could be a Doomblader for the Hellrider before damage.
Yep, he plays 3 Geth's Verdict. So
that's not going to do it.
In the attack phase,
yeah, that won't do it. That Hellrider trigger is just too good. Tragic Slip for what?
This is looking like double Tragic Slip, maybe.
Okay.
Oh no, he
can't.
He can't because of that. Huh. Wow.
He could Dismember.
Yep.
And that would actually, if he goes Dismember to go to 2 life, Dismember the Hellrider.
No, if he had a Dismember, he would have killed the Wolfear and the Hellrider. I think this is all he has here. I think Aaron can survive and drop to 1 only. There'll be 4 pings. Yeah, he could only fall to 1 if Missy attacks with all her creatures, but we know she has a Galvanic Blast in her hand too, so. As long as she turns all her creatures sideways, this game should be over. Oh, it looks like they have a question for the judge right now.
Yeah.
Conferring maybe about a Hellrider triggered ability.
And she's like, gotcha. Zot, zot,
Bang,
zot.
bang,
Okay.
bang.
To the next.
So Missy takes that one
quick.
in 5 turns.
Quick game 1.
Wow.
Now, Melissa's seeing an opposing creature deck. I expect we're going to see Bonfire of the Damned #2 coming in from the board.
Yeah, definitely. How about Wolfie or Silverheart in this matchup?
I mean, you're playing against black. So one of the things about black is more equipped than other colors to handle, a big thing like that. There's
Big
the
creature.
possibility of Doomblade, there's a, go for the throat, things like that. It's worth thinking about, but you do slow yourself down a little bit. And maybe you don't need to slow yourself down in order to make this game work out for you. Perhaps one Wolfier as a tutor target, but I'm not sure that all of them come in.
Yeah, I'm looking at her sideboard here, and there aren't a heck of a lot of cards that she really wants. She could bring an Active Aggression for any possible Phyrexian Obliterators. Crushing Vine's no good, Ancient Grudge no good, Increasing Savagery, again, against a black deck, I can't imagine she wants it. Mana Barbs, Stinger Fling Spider?
No, I don't like any of that.
None of
Yeah.
these.
I mean, I like one Bonfire of the Damned,
Yep, for sure.
and I could see one Wolfier Silverheart.
I could see her siding in a Silverheart for the Acidic Slime. That's a pretty good swap, probably.
Well, I think the thing is, though, when you're playing against a 2-color deck that's running Cavern of Souls, the Acidic Slime can do a lot of work, particularly because Acidic Slime also has Death Touch.
Right.
And Death Touch is a real ability.
Yeah, and especially against something like a Phyrexian Obliterator, which is otherwise so hard to answer.
Now, meanwhile, on the other side of the table, Obliterator almost certainly coming in. Black Sun Zenith, I think we'll also see finding its way in.
Yeah, that's so good against all those elves and birds.
Yeah.
And, even if, for example, she has a draw featuring 2 Avengers, that can just wipe them out. Steel Sabotage, no. Metamorph? We might see a
Metamorph is very reasonable. Metamorph does a lot of work. It can copy a Geist, Strangleroot Geist. It can copy, if he assumes, perhaps reasonably, that there are swords involved, he can copy a sword. And one way to answer a sword is to have your own sword.
Right. Sword races are always fun. And especially because she has the Sword of War and Peace. If he can manage to copy a Sword of War and Peace, that'll shut off half of Missy's deck, whereas her sword does not have protection from any of Aaron's deck. So, both players not sideboarding a heck of a lot, maybe 3-4 cards each. The main decks are pretty well equipped to battle other creatures right now. Now, talking about key cards in the matchups, one that sticks out to me, Mortar Pod, I think it will be really good for Aaron if he can draw it. Just a great card, can really keep the elves and birds down that can otherwise ping the life total. Really great against the Sword of War and Peace, for example, when they go for the equip.
And Mortar Pod just good with Jarlf's Messenger just to begin with.
Right. Just a lot of natural synergy in the deck. So Aaron will be on the play for game 2.
And Hall of Famer Rob Doherty comes on over to check out the match from the view here in the booth. Melissa DeTora up 1-0.
Looking to move on to 4-0 right now.
Yeah. Now, Melissa is probably one of the most talented players in this room. There are 503 players here, and looking through the list of players, if I were to name a person that I would not be surprised to see in the top 8, Melissa is one of them.
Yeah, I cannot disagree with you there. There are a lot of good Northeast players, but she's one of the ones who has been able to consistently get on the Pro Tour year after year.
Yeah.
So both players with their 7. Aaron, it looks like lacking a blue source. Well, a blue source that can cast Ponder.
There is a Diregraph Ghoul. Copperline Gorge.
And passes the turn. She does have a Galvanic Blast available. It'll be interesting to see if she uses it. Yep, she uses it right away.
Now, interesting thing to note, we did see with the new set Pillar of Flame printed, Melissa not running it, preferring Galvanic Blast for the instant ability, as well as the very corner case of actually having enough artifacts to get the extra damage. It's possible, though unlikely.
Yep. And now I'm a little surprised that she didn't wait until after the Diregraph Ghoul hit her. I would have maybe saved it for any potential Blood Artists, but at the same time, against this black deck, you have to keep your life total high.
And a turn 2 Green Suns for Llanowar Elf, which looks like it's going to take a fall down the stairs. Slip, and away goes.
So Aaron untaps, swings for 2, dropping Missy to 18. And again, lacking the blue sources for those ponders, he's going to run out of plays really soon unless he draws Darkslick Shores or something like that.
Image? No, that looks like perhaps an artist.
Yeah, Blood Artist comes down. So that's almost like the Black Hell Rider, in that it circumvents combat really easily. Definitely a scary card.
The first time we saw this card really see play at the SCG events, I can't remember how long ago it was, but it wasn't that long ago, and it was Tony Paliocco playing his build of the Jeff Smith, Smitty Kamikaze deck, but that was black-blue at the time. And just huge powers that deck was able to do with the Blood Artist. We see a Wolfear Avenger come and eat a zombie.
Yeah, and that card is really just shining in this matchup. A zombie deck has a really tough time dealing with that other than something like Tragic Slip or catching it while it's tapped out. And I mean, when she passes with 3 mana right there, he has to know it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, though, she can just pass with that 3 mana and not have it. And what do? You just say, I'll pretend you have it.
Luckily for Aaron, it was only a Gravecrawler, so that will come back later in the game. But if it was something like a Diregraph Ghoul, I don't know if he would have attacked or not.
Yeah, like in the first game, for example. And Melissa coming in, just, here's my wolf.
Ow!
Ow, ow, ow.
So Aaron Tarvis, 18. And I do see a Galvanic Blast poking out of Missy's hand, so that Drolf's Messenger won't be able to get a hit in yet if she doesn't want it to. Instead, Metamorph.
I would be unsurprised if that's a messenger. And it is.
Yep, Aaron Tarvis down to 16, Missy at 13.
6 power of attackers for Melissa.
Yeah, I mean, I think Aaron is favored right now, though, if he can draw a blue source, because that Blood Artist going long is going to be a pretty big deal for him.
Gravecrawler go, it looks like. Now, Melissa does have the Galvanic Blast to take care of the artist at will.
Right. Both players a little light on lands right now. Stuck on 3. That wolf run will pose some problems for Aaron going late, but I don't think it'll make a difference this game, ultimately, unless both players hit a lot of lands off the top.
Now, one of the reasons that Blood Artist is so good, just in general, is that, as you might have learned if you were playing in a previous moment, just the ability to suck 1 life from your opponent every time something dies ends up being very relevant in your race situations, where you have far more life than you would have expected if you're not really paying attention to how much things just die in creature-based Magic. I mean, with the Metamorph and the Drolf's Messenger, there's a possibility for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creature deaths in play, not counting the artist itself. In comes the Wolfear Avenger. And so we see a block. Melissa regenerates.
Yeah, and Aaron is happy to do that. That uses her entire turn. Although
in response, I think we're seeing the death of the Blood Artist, which can still do its 1 point life drain. And then into play comes the Messenger, a little bit bigger. So Melissa losing 3 life that turn, 1 from the Blood Artist, Aaron gaining 1 life, and then 2 more life lost from the Drolf's Messenger coming back into play, now as a 4/3. Now, her being very wise in taking care of that creature so that it doesn't do more work. It's innocuous, but if you don't realize it, it's just really painful. Diregraph Ghoul. Pass.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's played against Falkenrath Noble knows that cards with that effect are just huge, be it limited or constructed. In fact, we saw a few Falkenrath Nobles in a top 8 a few weeks ago. A pair of them.
Falkenrath Noble, a secret first pick in a lot of decks for that draft format.
Oh, that's not that secret.
A lot of people didn't realize it. I mean, even at the top levels of the game, you would hear people talk about it, and Sam Black would be talking about how it was so good, and people wouldn't wouldn't believe him. So Huntmaster with a 4th mana from Melissa, shoring up that life total, getting a wolf, 12 life now.
Yeah, that draw of Mountain is huge right there.
Now imagine a Killing Wave hits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
I mean, even for 2.
Oh, or 3.
Now it would be 3. I have to imagine we'll see Aaron ponder here. He desperately needs to find something like that wave.
It's a 3-moon ponder. And I think I see a mortar pod. Can't quite make it out. He's putting his hand pretty perpendicular to the table, so.
Playing him close to the vest.
So let's see what we got. 1-2. Mortar pod.
Okay, so that will buy him some time, but without a late game engine of Blood Artist or the mana to fully use the Grave Crawler and the Mortar Pod, I think Missy's just going to batter him down here.
Melissa draws. With a SCGWOR run in play and 2 other mana. A wolf.
Oh, wow. Ancient Grudge.
Oh, Ancient Grudge. It's going to end up summoning 1 damage for probably Melissa just right herself.
Yeah, it looks like she did bring in either 1 or 2 of those, maybe hedging her bets against any possible swords. We know this deck doesn't play any, but she doesn't.
Well, and you know, there are metamorph
Yep.
possibilities.
That too.
Not in this deck, but the Mortar Pod is the only target.
Even so, killing the Mortar Pod,
Yep.
it's not that bad.
In comes a wolf and a metamorph of a Geralf's Messenger, currently a 3-2.
Life total is 14 to 11.
2 more mana. A Strangleroot Geist on defense.
Yep, so it looks like Aaron did actually take that damage down to 8. Now we'll see if he can crawl his way back into this game.
Image.
That helps.
Either a Huntmaster or a Messenger.
I have to imagine it's a Huntmaster. I don't think he can afford to do anything else right now. But we'll see what he chooses.
There it is, Huntmaster, plus 2 life. Now that image cannot flip as much as it might want to.
It can die, though. It can die to that wolf run very easily. Question is, what is Missy going to spend her mana on? Because she has so many good things to do. She has 3 spells in hand. She has the Wolf Run. Oh, Dismember peeking out there.
Oh, boy.
This turn's almost certainly going to be Wolf Run the image and then Dismember a creature and all in.
At any time, if a Hellrider comes down, it
over.
causes so much pain.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron needs to somehow survive this turn and rip a Killing Wave.
Killing Wave would be such a rout.
Missy doing some math right now, trying to see how much damage she can inflict.
One of the things that is possible is by just simply passing the turn, then the Huntmaster can flip, and that Huntmaster can, do its triggered ability, 2 damage to something as well as Aaron. But nope, it looks like Melissa's going to do some actual action here and keep going forward.
Yeah.
There we see Dismember.
I don't think she's playing around Killing Wave at all, and it's a hard card to play around because it's always something like a 2 of or a 1 of, and not all the lists even play it. So
Wolf Run for 0 on the image, and then the whole team comes on in. Only 2 of those creatures can block. Aaron throws a creature, a wolf against the Wolfer, Ghoul against the Metamorph, which is a Geralf's Messenger.
Yep.
And it's going to come back, probably as a Huntmaster.
And here it comes. Have to imagine it'll be Huntmaster. I don't know what the other choice would be. Geist,
And
I
it is
suppose,
it is a
maybe.
Huntmaster.
And now Aaron has 1 turn. This has to be a Killing Wave, I think.
Even if it's a Killing Wave, I mean...
Yeah, she can save 2 creatures. You're right.
And one of those could be a Geist. Ponder. I mean, she's not obliged to save very much.
No, she would only have to save a couple
And
creatures. Yeah.
there we go. A quick 2-0 for Melissa DeTora.
Yeah, I think she had a huge matchup advantage
I
right there.
have to agree. I have to agree.
Really hard to see her ever losing a match to this black deck. Wolfear Avenger is just so strong.
Yeah.
And if not for Restoration Angel, that might be one of